Having grown up in the Alexandria area, graduated in '82, what's it like for you? Now you're an author. This is a national thing. You've written. So to come back to little Alexandria and with a book, a work of art here.
Well, I will say, well, first of all, it's always great to come back to Alexandria. It's a great, beautiful town. But what makes it possible, really, for me to bring this book back here is the fact that for a smaller town, Alexandria has a really fine independent bookstore right on Broadway. So the fact that Cherry Street Books is here, I actually have a place to bring this book to and give a reading. So it's always good to bring it back home and see family and see old friends. And especially given that Harriman's friend grew up here, I feel kind of an obligation. But really the fact that there's actually a bookstore, and so many towns, larger towns, don't have bookstores anymore. People go online to buy their books, and it's another sign that bookstores are really good, not just for selling books, but actually creating communities around books. So as an author, I'm very grateful for that opportunity.
Okay, so this book brings things to light, but also something you did back in the 80s was brought Alexandria on the air to light. Can you tell you a little about that first start and being on KXRA back then?
I'm back home at KXRA, right in these studios. It started, Shelley K. Sonstegard and I started, I hope I'm not taking too much credit, but I think it started in a conversation between the two of us. I don't know who had the idea first, and maybe there might have been others involved in the conversation right away. Possibly Larry Sardiff was in that early. Tom Hevola, Carrie Rabatzik, Sue, and Carla. Anyway, I don't remember who was in that initial conversation, but all I know is that some group of us ended up just walking in here, making an appointment, and talking to Patty. Is how I remember it, at least. Who knows what actually happened, but how I remember it is we came here, talked to Patty, and said, we want to do a radio show. A couple teachers gave us a couple ideas, but pretty much KXRA just let us go on the show and tell the stories we want to tell and make the jokes that we thought were funny, and have a show here every week. And it was a blast. It was really some of the most fun I had in high school, for sure.
Kind of the start of your creative expression.
It was actually the start. It was actually writing. I remember we'd write these humor skits. We cribbed some of it off of Saturday Night Live or Bob and Ray, other sort of radio comics of the glory years. We'd adapt some of that stuff, Abbott and Costello kind of routines. Adapt some of that stuff for the radio and for Alexandria. We'd update it. We'd have these guest stars on and local. The student council president Eric Heegard or local athletes would come on and do interviews, and it was I think the opportunity. Now you mention it, to actually write something and see it go out and be received by people right away. So indeed, I think it really was. I think for all of us, a really great experience in that way.